Hello fellow comrades, welcome back. Have a seat and let's enjoy the 17th century. So Victus here, and we're going to proceed with Pike and Shot. As we can see, we have fought a battle against the Winter King, and here we have Ambrosio Spinola, one of the most powerful generals of the time that the Spanish Empire had in their ranks. Now, this guy was a Genoese commander that was in charge of the area of Flanders. So historically, this guy is going to attack places like Heidelberg. It's going to be captured by the Spaniards, and a lot of other areas over here. So he's going to secure the Spanish road and the Rhine region for the movement of troops. At the same time, the Habsburgs are going to fight the Bohemian uprising and the Protestant city-states of Germany. We're waiting for the event that is going to resume the conflict with Netherlands, and we have here another of the historical characters, Pedro Alvarez de Toledo Osorio, that is waiting here for any suspicious movements from these guys that are actually already at war with the Habsburgs of Austria. Let's remember that we are the Habsburgs of Spain. So I decided to start the recruitment of this unit, Arquebuceros, light arquebusiers, which are mounted, and I am recruiting them in Flanders and as well here in Milan. As you can see, we have a limit of 8, so we are going to tap that limit. Now if we take a look at the money here, we have 8,200, and we are going to boost that by sending our navy here, the merchantman trade ship San Cosimo, in this area to start bringing ivory from Cameroon. Over here, we are building a dockyard, and if I'm not mistaken, because there's a lot to do in here, we're building here a trading port, and here in Gibraltar we're building as well a trading port. All of that is going to be awesome for our economy, and the infrastructure here is going to be sweet as well. Over here I'm going to build a Catholic chapel. This building is going to increase the Catholicism in the area of Flanders, but is going to put the classes that are Protestant against us. But I don't care about that, because that suits perfectly the day and age that we are experiencing here. So with that being said, we're going to continue. Now, as you can see,
Mi señor.
we can't send these guys in here and start besieging this. Actually, we have at this moment a mission that says that we need to take Cleves and we need to take Stuttgart. I believe we don't have any time conditions for that, so we can play very, very slowly. Now, it never ceases to amuse me and have a close-up to this beautiful model here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sit this guy in front of this bridge. We're still going to be sitting in our own territory because we want this replenishment. But I can see here that we have 2 musketeers that are very, very depleted. So we can start sending here and start exchanging a little bit of musketeers. We have here militia. Militia is they have 7 of attack and have a defense of 19. And if I see here, for these mosqueteros, we have pretty much the same. So what we're going to do is to send a little bit of reinforcements. Now let's remember that in this time it was ideal for an army of tercios to have at least, or that was the best case scenario, you would have 3,000 men. But in most of the cases, the majority of the cases, that was not true because of attrition and because of deaths on the battlefield. The amount of men was halved. So that suits us because we are not in a hurry here. So we're going to send these guys and we're going to march them south. So these 2 guys are going to replace the 4th Regiment of Foot and precisely the 12th Regiment of Foot of the Landsknechts. And I think we're going to finish the turn here because we're about to get basic roads in the Spanish road, which is awesome. So let's see if we can, with this 5,000, 54,000, let's try. What do we have here? We are at war. Let's try to talk with Brunswick. Brunswick, we have them over here. Okay, so we cannot offer peace to these guys, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is to wait in here and continue the turn here. Now we are researching, let's remember Willock, and then we're going to go straight to mercenary recruitment because we are in need of getting the cantonment. This thing here allows me to build cantonment. So let's end the turn. So the first thing we see is a little bit of movement here. So here we have Balthasar Suter, and here we have Simon Loeb. So that's okay. We're going to see a little bit of what we gain here. Army is receiving supplies. So the army of Flanders is receiving supplies, and this army is on the march. We have recruited what we wanted. So we're going to use these guys as scouts. So first of all, I'm going to clearly start sending 3 of these over here.
Alto!
And let me see, we have 1 left here. This guy I'm going to send in here.
Listos y a la espera de órdenes.
So we can have a look at the Netherlands over here.
Pide demasiado.
So let me see if I can move it slightly here.
Vamos! En marcha!
Okay, so now let's continue here. We're going to send the troops that are very depleted here. We talked about the... what was it? We talked about the 12th Regiment Foot, but right now I see they have received a lot of troops. So then we can... well, we can think about this. Let me see. Perhaps we can just take the Musketeers over here. Send these guys.
No es posible, general. No es posible, señor. ¿Algo más?
Over here.
Tropas, adelante. A la orden, majestad.
Let's send the Landsknechts in here.
Tropas, adelante.
Oh, they were intercepted again. I'm going to place them here. So because of the proximity of these guys here, there's an interception.
Soy su humilde servidor.
What I can do is to send these guys over here.
Adelante.
So we're going to consolidate. And then these guys.
Sí, señor.
And perhaps I'm going to send them here.
Vamos. En marcha.
Let's see, we have basic roads here. This increases, well, we're not so high because we just used half of our money that we were getting for income. We have poured that into the cavalry here. So let's see what we can do here. Let's take all of these cav and send them here.
Aguardamos órdenes. Ejército, alto.
So I'm going to start using these cav
Su majestad.
and start having look in here and try to figure out what is going to be the best procedure here. So with that being said, I'm going to end the turn.
¿Alguna orden?
Now we get the ivory. Kingdom of Bohemia is asking for a peace treaty, so I'm going to refuse. Okay, so now we have the wheellock,
Here, a proper musket for you.
which is very good. Now, I see this plus 2% recovery chance of battle casualties, but increases the upkeep cost of the unit, so I don't think it's going to be okay. And now the mercenary recruitment allows me to recruit in every single province of Europe different type of units, which is a characteristic of this time. The countries would either recruit from their levies, from their pool, or they would recruit mercenaries, which were actually very dependent on them. So you see here we have a lot of roads. Now these roads are increasing a lot the money. We have recruited the howitzer, which is the 24-pounder. So we're okay with that. And Ambrosio Spinola has now supply shortage
Su
because
Majestad.
he was moving, but he's replenishing very nicely. So what I'm going to do now
Su Majestad.
is to continue with these guys here.
Preparados. En marcha.
And now I can use the scouts here. So I'm going
Mi
to
señor.
spread these scouts all over the place. First of all, I'm going to send this guy here. Definitely, I would like to see what is happening here.
Seguimos. A la espera de órdenes.
I'm going to approach this guy
Preparados.
here.
En marcha.
So now we see
Aguardamos
that
órdenes.
Heidelberg is occupied by the Austrians, our cousins, so everything is okay in here. So now I'm going to send more scouts. The other scout, I'm going to send it here. So we already know that there's an army here.
Listos y a la espera de órdenes.
Now I see that they are building something in Frankfurt. They have a unit here. Obviously they are guarding the bridge here. We don't know what they have there, but we know the name of this captain here, which is Philip From. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is to clearly send
Soy su humilde servidor.
these guys to Stuttgart.
Por la izquierda.
We
En
already know
marcha.
that Stuttgart is in possession of our cousins in Vienna. I'm going to march in here just to have a look at the troops here
¿Alguna orden más?
and have an understanding of what is going to happen here. I'm going to send this guy to Bohemia.
Adelante. Por la corona.
I want to have a
y la
look at
nación.
Bohemia and see what is happening here.
Maniobras finalizadas.
Actually, I'm going to send
Señor.
2 guys to there because the other guy I'm going to send to Vienna.
Por la izquierda. En marcha. Mi señor. En posición. Vamos. En marcha. Tropas. Alto.
So the guy is going to have a look in here.
Preparados. En marcha.
This one as well, perhaps
Seguimos.
north into
Tropas. Alto.
the Duchy of Saxony.
Soldados. Adelante.
So now we're going to spread our scouts. It's very useful to use scouts like that. I love to do that, actually. Okay, so right now we're not going to move this guy. We're getting the mercenary situation here. So I think we're good. So let's end turn. Now, it's going to be a good idea to start saving, because for all of you guys that want to play this mod, and I already know that you are very excited about this, let me tell you that you must save a lot. If you don't save, there's a lot of chance that one of your turns is going to get corrupted. So what I'm going to do now is to do a quick save, and I'm going to load to see if everything is okay. Hopefully there's not going to be any problem. So everything is okay, and I can see that we can continue with our beautiful campaign without problems. So we are in August 1619, and our captain here is now receiving supplies, which is something that we expect. So now let's see what we have here. 6,000. It's pretty good. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see, we have some sort of possibilities to begin developing the economy. Eight turns doesn't look bad. Yeah, we're still waiting for these guys. Okay, what I'm going to do here is to increase the infrastructure in our main region. So we have Madrid, so we're going to build cobbled roads. It's going to take quite a while. 1 year actually. And we're going to build here cobbled roads as well in Catalonia. This is just for the time being. Let me try to build here. Actually, no. We're going to leave it be. Now, what we can do here with these scouts. So we still send this guy here.
Vamos! En marcha!
And to see what is happening in Bohemia. So we see here the Duchy of Bavaria, which is allied of our cousins. And then
Ejército! Alto!
okay, we could not reach into the territory, into the actual city, but we're doing good.
Sí, señor.
So let's send these guys
Al instante.
south. So we're going to have a nice look here. We're going to march through the German territory with our scouts. There goes the Burgundian Cross. So we see gold minefield in Raudis. We march through Salzburg,
En posición.
Linz.
Sí, señor.
So now send these guys here.
No es posible, general. Adelante. En marcha.
Good.
Señor.
Now these guys to
Preparados.
north.
En marcha.
But actually these guys,
Señor.
if they move here, they're going to begin
Preparados.
getting a
En
little bit
marcha.
of attrition. So let's see when does the attrition begins.
Vamos. ¡En marcha! A la espera de órdenes. ¡Vamos! ¡En marcha! ¡Soldados, adelante!
Presumably the attrition begins here, so we're going to stop here. Okay, now
Señor, a la orden.
let's move this guy through here.
¡Vamos! ¡En marcha! ¿Algo más? ¡Por la izquierda! ¡En marcha! ¡Tropas! ¡Alto!
The reason I decided to do this is because here we could be intercepted. So it's something that we don't want.
Sí, señor.
So we already know that nothing is there. So now we can start sending more troops in here.
¡Vamos! ¡En marcha!
This guy I'm
Soy
going
su
to move
humilde
here.
servidor. ¿Listos?
Una
Y a la
orden
espera
más.
de órdenes. ¿Alguna orden más?
Su Majestad.
¡Seguimos!
Okay, so that's enough. So we're going to end the turn. So here they come. This is the army of, well, basically this is Prague.
¡Retrocedan! ¡Acampemos!
Hopefully Bavaria is going to attack them here. So we have dockyards in Cadiz and trading post in Gibraltar, and we built the Catholic chapel here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we're doing perfectly good. So now what we're going to do is to start building a little bit of naval recruitments here. So I'm going to take Indian man galleons here. So we have two. Over here we have beautiful Corsair galleons, medium galleon, war galleon. Now you all know that these galleons are not in the vanilla, so I'm pretty sure that you are very, very excited, the same as I am, to see those guys in action. Look those beautiful guys.
Would you be able to construct a fully functioning model galleon in a bottle?
So what I'm going to do here is to build galleons here, but I'm going to do the best ones. So the best galleon, they are very expensive. The best galleon is the Corsair galleon, so I'm going to take that. Then here as well, I'm going to take the Indian galleon. All of those are meant to do the trade. The Corsair galleon here, and that's it. Now, of course, in this time period, we don't get the measuring tools thing, but as you can see here, you can get steam pumped gold mine, which is very, it's part of the vanilla game, because the vanilla game is, we all know where is the time period of the vanilla game, so it's a little bit funny that we can get steam pumped gold mine in the 17th century. Okay, so we are going to build a little bit of fleet there. Now we see here Algiers. Spices. We need someone to be sent there. Perhaps here we can recruit another Indian man. What is happening here? Oh, we have the maximum, so we have reached the maximum. That's interesting, but we don't have any restrictions in building the merchantmen, but we have restrictions in building Indian men. Okay, now let me go and see how is the supply here. Okay, we're doing good. I'm not going to attack there. Perhaps we can attack here, but it's not going to be a good idea. So let's end the turn. Now before ending the turn, I'm going to save. It's going to be a good idea to do that very often. Trust me. Okay, we have reached Vienna, and we're going to send these guys over here. Wait, I would like to have a look here.
En marcha. Soldados, adelante.
But it was very lucky. So now here we have Tilly. Now this is good. We have Tilly here, historical character. I really love the flags. They are so beautiful, and the fact that you have the option to load for every faction, you have the option to load these beautiful insignia here for each one of them. Whole development of these, as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, has been moved to Shogun. So let's see here. Now, the Bavarian troops are very close to these guys.
Soy su humilde servidor.
Let me send these guys here.
¿Algo más? ¡Seguimos! ¡Vamos! ¡En marcha! ¡Soldados, adelante! ¡Tropas, adelante!
This is weird. Look at this flag. Okay. So we're scouting here in Dresden. For these guys, we don't want to be... Okay, these guys attack.
¡Preparados!
I would like to
¡Preparados! ¡En marcha!
be able to help them. Let's hope that Tilly is going to move there.
Sí, señor.
So now we move this guy here.
¡Adelante! ¡Por la corona y la nación! ¡Vamos! ¡En marcha! ¿Alguna orden más?
Yeah,
¡Al
hopefully that
instante!
guy.
¡Por la izquierda! ¡En marcha! ¡Al instante!
Okay, I don't want the attrition, and we're going to get the
¡En
attrition here.
marcha! ¿Qué ordena su majestad?
Didn't want that. So okay, that's okay. Let's see. Okay, we're 8,000. We're good. Now let's see how these how Ambrosio
Señor,
is
a la
doing.
orden.
He's doing good. All the pikes are almost full power. So we could try to go and attack them, but it's going to be a waste of time. Most of the battles of the time were skirmishers. There were not actually sieges. But we just begun the let's play with a beautiful siege. So make sure to see that video if you missed that. In the previous chapter we had a very great battle that was an actual siege. And now I have noticed that we need more guys. We need more guys to be subscribed to the channel. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. If you like my content, if you're excited for Pike and Shot, if you're excited to see amazing, beautiful mods for the Total War franchise, and you're a wargamer lover, history buff, hit that like button. Let's continue here. Let's end the turn. Channel to save. Here they come, the Saxony. Ally attacked, Principality of Transylvania. So we're going to enter war on side of Ally, because we're Habsburg forever. Kingdom of Bohemia wants peace. We don't. We're not traitors. Oh, army sabotaged. We got the sabotage here. Where
Listos y a la espera de órdenes.
there was a sabotage intention here. Attrition, yeah. A little bit of attrition here, so we're going to move them here.
Seguimos.
It's gonna send them here.
Adelante. En marcha. Al instante. En marcha. A acampar. En marcha. Preparados.
Okay. Let's read this beautiful card. This is the time in which Transylvania is going to join the war against the Habsburgs. So, made Prince of Transylvania with the support of the Turkish allies in 1613, the Protestant Gabor Bethlen had become a dominant figure in Hungarian politics by the time of the 30 Years' War. When the Bohemian revolted and subsequent support of the Palatinate drew Emperor Ferdinand's attention away in 1618, Bethlen took action and seized much of northern Hungary, then under nominal Habsburg rule. Paired with the ongoing rebellion against the Habsburgs in the rest of Hungary, this sudden strike made Bethlen a considerable threat to imperial authority in the region. Following his victory, the local Diet offered Bethlen the crown of Hungary, but as a Protestant he did not feel he could rule a predominantly Catholic land and declined. Despite his refusal, the fact that the crown was offered to a Protestant was enough to arouse fears in the Catholic Hungarian nobility, who turned to Emperor Ferdinand for support. How fun. In 1620, the Austrians went to war against Bethlen, sending an army into northern Hungary to expel the Transylvanian prince. Despite initial support from Frederick and his Bohemian rebels, which is Frederick the Winter King, to the north, Catholic victories in the later months of 1620 turned the war decisively in Ferdinand's favor, while Bethlen's traditional Turkish allies were themselves occupied with their war against the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It's going to be a very... That's the reason I sent these guys here, so I want to see what is happening with that guy there. So here we have the Ottomans, so we cannot cross here. We can move here. And we can see what is happening over here, because here we see the area of Transylvania. So here we're going to have a peek into into Moravia, so we're going to see what is happening. Now we already know that the Turks, even though they are supporting this guy in attacking our cousins, they are in a fierce war against the Poles. So that's important to take into account. So we're going to maintain our troops here. And with this guy,
A la orden.
let's see,
Listos
we could send
y
this
en
guy
espera
here
de
and
órdenes. Soldados,
perhaps have a
adelante.
look at what is happening here.
¿Ordena algo más?
And this guy could be sent. Okay, there. Let's see what about the supplies here.
Preparados.
This guy has receiving supply. So we're just waiting for the dragoons and some German mercenaries plus the actual Genoese marshal to replenish. Now these guys are defending these very clever position for them. And these are not moving. These are like stone here. This is statue here. So I think they're not going to move anytime soon. But our economy is growing very nicely. So let me see here. What do we save? I'm going to do the normal save and then the quick save. So we're going to be able to climb into the actual saves, which is a very clever way of thinking about this. And actually, I would like to send someone there because I want to have all the situation. That's it.
A la espera de órdenes.
There you go.
¿Alguna orden?
This is clearly, well, it's not actually doing a lot of help, but we're still waiting for this guy here the next turn. Now what about the roads here, the nine turns? So I think at this point we can clearly start improving this the infrastructure of this place, which is the Spanish road, which is going to be very helpful. And I think we're very good to go here. So let's end the turn. There's a lot of amazing mods that were made for Empire and Napoleon. These games have a lot of potential. I am one of those fans that would love to see Empire 2. Empire 2 would be a dream. So yeah. Units recruited. So we have the Navy here. We're going to send and take the Ivory, of course. Ivory is better. Because if you go to the actual trade, you see that Ivory costs 59 and spices cost 36. And we are waiting here for the Indian men and the galleons. Of course, our galleons and the Indian man. We have our great fleet here commanded by Federico de Toledo. With this beautiful war galleon, it says here medium war galleon, and this guy has the war galleon. It's called Dragon. Awesome. So I think we're good. I'm just going to leave it like this. In December 1619, we're about to approach 1620. And now we are going to start moving this guy
A la orden.
the next summer or spring. I believe we're going to start moving, and we're going to attack this guy here because we're not afraid of moving from here, but not now because now is winter. So we're going to do a maneuver here and attack here. So that way we could see how this guy is going to react. And we're going to begin recruiting. We have a lot of money here, very nice. We're going to begin recruiting a little bit of interesting troops here. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell button so you can be notified, because this is going to get very, very interesting. We're going to recruit here these guys that are the real tercios, musketeers of the King's Guard and pikes of the King's Guard. We're going to recruit as well the albarderos and of course the cavalry of the King's Guard. It's going to be awesome. We have this unit here called men-at-arms that are actually mounted. It's a very interesting unit. We have this unit that is very interesting, this one here. I'm very intrigued with these because it says albarderos, but I don't know if I think they're halberdiers, so that's cool. That's cool. So we have the tools to destroy the Protestants, and we will have to think about France because we don't want that France start to attack us. There's going to be a huge coalition in real history in which this is going to be the moment that the Battle of Rocroi is going to be the battle that is going to define the fall of Spain. So we are going to change that here, but first we need to focus here, destroy a little bit of these guys, at least take one of these, even though this was not historically exactly accurate, but we're not doing the exact same things that history did because we're going to change everything here. So this was Victus. See you in the next one.